All right, you are welcome to the third class of this lesson. Learn graphic design with Canva graphics tools. And today's, which is the third day of our class, we'll be considering what I titled "What is graphic design elements and how do we engage these elements into various designs that we will be looking onto during the moment of time. So, what is graphic design element? So, graphic design element are the fundamental part of graphic design. There is no graphic design, or let me say, there won't be an entity called graphic design without its element. It is the element that are pieces together to form a whole graphic design. So graphic design element enables us to put different kind of ideas, different kind of sub or sub particle of things together to form a whole design to communicate or to visualize our idea, to visualize our intention, to convey some particular information to the audience. So when we talk about graphic design elements, what are these elements? I will quickly run through them. And the first one is what I put here as line, which is line. Line is the fundamental for structure and guidance. So when we talk about line, line is very, very important as part of the graphic design element. In fact, if you look at the flyer I put beside this, you will see how they utilize the use of line. In most of the cases, line goes with negative spaces. So it really enables some text to be separated so that emphasis can be created to where it belongs to. So lines is very important. It is very fundamental for structure and for guidance. Lines also in some places shows direction. So let's move on to the second one. And the second one is shape. Shape. I don't know if you can see any shape from the design I put beside it. There are different shapes there. Yes, yes, yes. What is shape? Shape is seen as a geometric or organic forms in design. Anything that is beyond line can be seen as a shape. Line is when two dots are being joined together. That forms a line. Two dots, just two dots being joined together form a line. But when we have two or more different kind of lines being joined together, then we are forming shape. So if you are to be looking at this particular design, I am seeing a shape that a rectangular looks shape. Yeah, I can see the margin of a circle end and a particular rectangular shape here. So there are shapes in this particular design, and shapes add flavor to some of your design. Shape also add emphasis to some of your design. Shape sometimes even add hierarchy, yes, and even alignment. So shape is like a form that that specify or draw the attention of the viewers some certain things. The next element that we are going to be looking at is color. C-O-L-O-R. Color. As you have it here, color conveys mood. It conveys meaning based on the color theory. So under the color theory, we have primary wheel, we have secondary, and we have tertiary. There was no time I would have broken this into each part and explain, but it is what you have been taught in fact even back in primary school. So primary color, we have RGB, red, green, and blue. Are we together now? So these are the color. And for red, looking at red, whenever I see red, red is talking, can talk about love, can talk about even danger. Red can talk about warm. So red depicts different kind of things, so it conveys mood. and then from that mood you give it meaning based on the color theory. If you look at this design, so if you look at the background, you see white, you see red. So this is a classroom setting. So when you have color there are designs that there are some specific color must be given to it. If you want to make a brand, for instance, if your brand is based on a Basina product, at least you are more or less likely to use green color, green light color. Yes. So because from the green talks about life itself. Green. So there are many meanings that is attached to green. Among it is what you refer to as life. So that is that about that. Color, it conveys mood and meaning. Next one is typography. And typography has to do with the font style, size, choice, even font spacing and arrangement. Very, very important. So, and there are diverse kind of font choices that one can have. So typography is very important. You can't design something for people to see. You can't design a particular graphic design to convey your information, and yet you are putting font that will not enable people you are presenting it to read. So you must try as much as possible to bring out or to give some of the emphasis you want people to see, good and legible font, or else you will think that you have designed something good and at the end nobody will be able to read it. So font is very important. Typography is one of the elements of graphic design. The next thing is texture. Texture add depth, add capacity, it adds tactile and quality to your design. That is what texture can do. Texture can be seen when you've seen a uniform color. That is just a color with nothing. It is texture that we had agility. It is texture that we had depth. If you look at this particular designer, you realize that the background design is not just one color. No, there are mixtures of white and light green, and the way they mix it is not that uniform. So there is texture here. This one is not just one blank color. Are we together now? So that is what texture can do. Quickly running because of our time, we are moving on to the next element, next graphic design element, and that is space. Very, very important in every design. Space, arrangement, proximity, alignment, and balance. That is what is encapsulated in space. So you want to make use of space because these are the elements. At least you want to come up with any different kind of design, you must make use of at least three, four, five of these elements that I've mentioned so far. Yes, three, four, or five of these elements that I've mentioned. It is not a must for you to use all the elements, no, but at least three, four, or five, you are good to go. Looking at this particular design here, you can see October, you can see typography, you can see shape, yes, you can see space, exactly, you can see color. Are we together now? So there are, you can see texture. So there are, yes, more elements for you to use. Yes, it's not advisable to use one. In fact, it won't be possible to use one element for graphic design. Are we together now? So this is the idea. When you're dealing with space, arrangement matters. It matters a lot. The next is contrast. What does contrast do? Contrast highlight differences for emphasis. So what contrast do? It gives more emphasis to the major subject you want people to see at their first glancing to your design. It gives room, it accommodates the view of people, it draws their attention and it captivates their view on your design. So that is what contrast do. Okay, out of your flyer design, there is a part that you want it to draw the attention of your audience. That particular one, you add contrast to it, meaning that you either increase its color or make it look unique. Looking at the design, the first thing that you will see there, apart from the flag, secretariat, the next thing will be independence. Why? Because its contrast, the color there is not as dull as the other happy, and even the size, the emphasis. So it really gives emphasis. That is that about contrast. The next one is hierarchy. Uh, Hierarchy establishes information importance. So hierarchy is saying that okay, out of all these details in this flyer, what do you want your audience to come up with first? What do you want them to see first? So it also talks about emphasis. It gives emphasis, just like emphasis too. So it establishes great importance. The next one will be balance, achieving visual equilibrium, making sure. Now I put this particular design there. It was one design I saw on my WhatsApp. So I was like, this particular stuff is not balanced. The alignment is bad. Yes, the person tried in his own best, but if we are to really check and correct this particular design, you will see that in its alignment, that is under graphic design principle, there is what called alignment. The alignment is wrong here, and the balancing is not well placed. You see balancing as a scale where you put two equal weight on the either side, so that if one weight is greater than the other, there will be unbalance, there will be imbalance. Yes, so balance is very important in every design, and you can see that design about unity ensures cohesiveness in design. If there is no unity, you give one color yellow, and then you move on to put uh, green, violet, indigo. There is no unity. In your giving of color, you must make sure that unity is ascertained, especially if you are bringing up image to a particular design and a person is wearing a cloth that is far different from your color background or any other thing. There won't be unity. So unity is part of the design. Then emphasis, as we have seen earlier on, that both emphasis, hierarchy, all these things also draw the attention. Look at what this one says here. Focused attention on specific elements. That is what emphasis can do. Then movement, create visual flow or dynamism. In fact, one of the great things, if you can master this particular element, this can give your design a unique style, movement. If you can master movement, so many people, that is why you see them blurring some element. They will blur it. They can use motion blur for such, so that when you see that graphic design, it will look so unique as if it is real. Are we together now? So that is what movement can do in any design. Oh God, that is what movement can do in any design. Then we have white space. We also known as negative space. So it's an empty space for clarity. You don't do things. Uh, you don't put everything together. Make sure you give white space. You don't. You don't put them together. So that it won't look clumsy. And the next one, images and illustrations enhance and complement design. Images and illustrations enhance and then complement design. For the past design that I've shown you, you will see some, there are images there. You see some illustrations. The goal of all this is to make sure your design looks unique. The elements we've shown you so far are essential in graphic design for creating effective and visually appealing compositions. I'm really, being quick like this because of our time. Don't It's really getting too much. So thank you for your time. If there's any question, please do well to ask either in the comment below or you can even DM me. Thank you. See you in our next class.